There's nothing quite like Confederate motorcycles anywhere else in the world. They're a rare blend of different design disciplines, vehicle design, sculptural art and weapons-grade machinery, that result in some of the most intimidating motorcycles ever imagined. While you might expect these two-wheeled terrors to come from Italy, Dubai or Tokyo, they are entirely American-made in Birmingham, Alabama. The crew at Confederate Motorcycles has just completed their latest tour de force, the Confederate Motorcycles P51 G2 Combat Fighter. It's everything we've always loved about this brand. It's probably going to haunt our dreams. The new Confederate Motorcycles P51 G2 isn't the first fighter the brand has offered. It also joins the Confederate Wraith and Hellcat as a performance challenger that should be penciled in for a record or two at the Bonneville Salt Flats. A few years ago, that's precisely what the Confederate Hellcat did. They're designed to intimidate, but they're built to perform, and that's what we're likely to see out of the newest combat fighter once it arrives. The Confederate P51 G2 Combat Fighter is powered by a 200 horsepower air-cooled V-twin engine. For reference, that's bigger and badder than the 132 horsepower V-twin that Confederate set the world record with in Bonneville in 2012. This engine is set into a frame constructed out of 6061 aerospace billet aluminum. It's shown brushed and naked in the image above, but a black skin is also seen below. Now if you're as excited as we are about the new Confederate Combat Fighter, you may want to cool your jets a bit. Only 61 of these motorcycles will be produced, and they'll be sold between 110,000 and 120,000 depending on color options. It shouldn't shock you that one of the most impressive motorcycles ever built is also going to be one of the most expensive. This isn't just a motorcycle. It's a collector's item that is going to break records on the salt flats, but also on the auction block in decades to come. Confederate C3x 132 Hellcat Confederate motorcycles have taken the virtual wraps off of their latest two-wheeled street demon, the Confederate C3x 132 Hellcat. The new Hellcat is built around the X132 Copperhead engine, pushing 145 horses at the twist of the throttle. Joining the Confederate B190 Wraith and the P120 Fighter, the Hellcat is another guts-out design that makes the finely crafted machinery the primary visual elements of this motorcycle. But if you look closely, you'll see that the Hellcat is only a rendering at present. Knowing Confederate, they'll make good on this release with a flesh and bones motorcycle matching this design in the future. Watch your ass, Batpod. 2009 B120 Wraith by Confederate Motors. When they see you coming, they will run in terror from this stunning street beast. The 2009 B120 Wraith by Confederate Motors is a carbon and aircraft-grade aluminum motorcycle with a metallic, chopper-style design and a focus on high-end performance. She's powered by a 125 horsepower 45 radial twin engine that will push this baby to 60 miles per hour in a matter of seconds and a solid challenge to any other machine on the road. Only 250 of this bad boy will be produced, starting at 92,500 base. Suzuki drive Z400S, an aggressive off-roader that's small and nimble for traversing a range of landscapes. It also has a smaller engine, making it good for beginners who aren't yet acclimated to the dual sport world of adventure cycling. A tall seat and a suspension built for trail riding will not feel good for extended touring trips on the highway, forcing the Z400S to be more of a quick commute bike than one that can flip-flop between extended touring and mountain climbing. The smaller size and build is also good for more petite riders, though it sacrifices some gas tank space, requiring more frequent fill-ups. It's quick but has a mellow feel that makes it less menacing for riders who aren't ready for a full 800 to 1200cc Kawasaki Klr 650. Arguably one of the first adventure motorcycles ever to arrive on the scene, the Klr 650 is a design that is more than 30 years old. Originally touted as a dual-purpose bike, it's managed to survive several shifts in the intent of the brand and continuously bring on new adherents year after year. Most recently it's been revamped a little bit, and updated to better fit the adventurous set. With a single-stroke 650 engine, it doesn't throw out a lot of needless power, nor is it so heavy it digs into loose earth. Arguably the most affordable, most impressive midsize adventure cycle you can find, it straddles the line between long road rides and tough trail days like a true champion. Honda Africa Twin DCT. Anyone keeping their ear to the ground of the adventure bike market has heard rumblings of the Africa Twin. With all the industry chatter, it's easy to believe it's overhyped to the point of being a disappointment. We're here to tell you that it actually is that damn pleasurable to ride. Upon straddling it, the sense of height gives you a good view of the road or track ahead of you, while the slender build adds a feeling of being able to weave into, around, and out of the brush without a hitch. It's kind on roads, though won't give you that low, sticky sensation of a sport bike, but once you get it into the woods, it comes alive with plenty of torque that makes short work of fairly tough trails. Triumph Tiger 800X CX cut for the street bike crowd. One of the pleasures of the 800X CX is finding how to effectively use it where the sidewalk ends. To begin with, this can be an everyday driver, an every night blaster for making adrenaline runs around the back streets, and a weekend wanderer that will hop up hills. The key is the Abs brakes that change how it handles whether in need of sudden stops, or more gradual braking power. In the off-road setting, Abs to the back wheel is completely shut down, which enhances rotation for increased maneuverability. In short, it's the middle heavyweight champion you have to ride. Bmw S1000rx Abs. BMW yanked out the superb S1000rr engine and stuffed it into a frame that melds touring and sport capabilities, along with just enough grit to give it plenty of verve and swerve out on the trail. It carries 160 horsepower being pushed out the inline-4 banger, which is a nice step down from their other choice on this list, the gargantuan R1200. The steering angle is relaxed, allowing for a more comfortable posture during extended trips, but still able to get down and dirty when you feel like tackling some mud and dirt. This falls deeply in the adventure sport category, which makes it far more at home on pavement than loose. Suzuki Tu250x tipping the scales at a scant 325 plus pounds, the light Tu250x opts for simplicity above all else, making it an accessible first bike for new riders, as well as an easy, maneuverable steed that's good for getting all around the town. The 16 horsepower isn't meant to intimidate, but hit street speeds while delivering about 80 plus miles per gallon. Yamaha Tw200. The dirt bike body isn't just for show. The 270 plus pound Tw200 intends to tackle tougher pavement and harder highways than the average city cycle, which is a blessing when you're coping with streets that need maintenance, or a commute that goes from rougher, rural spots into the urban sprawl. At almost 80 miles for each gallon, it won't slow you down. Suzuki Vanvan 200, originally coughed up in the 70s, then reworked and sold overseas, the Vanvan has finally brought its worldly wiles back to the West. You'll only get 199 cc's, but since it's a bit over 282 pounds, that's plenty for riding high and tight weather, going flat out or round and round. BMW G310R. Usually a BMW badge on a bike will automatically inflate the price tag, but this is a kinder, gentler motorworks for a time when money is scarce for all but the thieves in the one. It lets you hop into and out of dense traffic, using a 313cc engine that feels good on the go, but not overpowered. Comfort here is hard to oversell, and it's got enough reliability to make even the most nervous saddle jockey feel good. Yamaha Yzfr3. Made to be a sports bike for the starter set, this has a few teeth to go with its streamlined looks. The engine is a parallel twin with 321 cc's that's capable of more than 40 horsepower, allowing for you to open it up when you've got the space, yet calm enough that you don't feel like you're trying to manage taking a jet through rush hour. Kawasaki Versys X300. Given an upright riding posture reminiscent of an adventure bike, but miniaturized to fit on city streets, you'll find the Versys X300 is a weekend runner as much as a daily rider. The tires and suspension, along with the 7.1 inches of ground clearance, all speak to taking tougher roads, such as those with potholes and poor maintenance, as you'll find in many urban areas. Kawasaki Klr 650. There's two types who will want a Klr 650, the rough commuter heading from the dirt roads to their job site, and the weekender who needs a true adventure motorcycle that has the suspension and torque to get her or him far from the city lights. It's a bit bigger and heavier than many other choices, coming in at more than 430 pounds, so don't expect whipping nimbleness or live performance. Kawasaki Ninja 650R. Admittedly way more than you'll need for tackling the mean streets. There's a lot to love about the 650R, with its 649cc performance engine that's macho enough for old hands, but also allows new riders a gentle giant they can grow into over time. If admiring glances are something you want to go along with your daily drive, you can't get more mouth-watering than this. Harley-Davidson Street 750. The Street comes in both 500 and 750 sizes, so if you want to lower the asking price and sacrifice a little size, it's possible to go down a notch. What we adore about the 750 is cruiser capabilities that give this a real long-haul feel, with enough panther to slink and turn while still letting the world know you're riding a hog.